Rugby is a game of structure, but just like the bounce of the ball, things sometimes turn to chaos. From a match the fans could barely see, to nature taking over.
The kick out to the wing and down! Oh, it's lifted over, and it's going to be a try anyway.
These are rugby's rarest moments. We start with the most hilarious one in the sport's history. The year is 2003, late in the Super 12 season, with the Waratahs needing a bonus point win to keep their season alive. But with time running out and some advantage from the ref, a prop tries the unthinkable. Just look at the shock on his face. He wasn't supposed to do that. The Waratahs needed a try, but even Dunning didn't really believe it would be over, I bet. Had the penalty been awarded, they might have had a shot, but at least he got one of the most iconic highlight reels in history. Now from one limb to another, who said headers were impossible in rugby? Rugby is a game of hands and feet. The ball gets passed from the hands and kicked from the feet, but nowhere in the laws does it say anything about your head.
Licking off Marler.
First, there was Joe Marler, that mean guy who everyone loves. The ball hits his head, everyone stops playing, but Loes just picks it up and scores. But it wasn't the only time it happened, as All Blacks utility back Geordie Barrett gave an even more ridiculous assist in the 2025 Rugby Championship.
Tobias sockers it ahead, just needs to fall it now and done.
A simple, yet eloquent try, perfectly created by two of the biggest names in rugby. Do you think it will ever happen again? Now, using your head is one thing, but some players actually use their brains. I'm talking about Mark scoring perhaps the greatest try ever. Yeah, I know this is the NRL, but this is just ridiculous. That wasn't a try, it was a man breaking the matrix, breaking every single code of rugby. It was poetry in motion. And he was correctly awarded for the try of the year, but I think it should have been the try of the decade. Now, as this trended on social media, this next moment literally saved a team. Few things compare to the Rugby World Cup, and in 2023, when the Box went back-to-back, it was special, really special. Yet, none of this would have been possible without the greatest rugby game ever played. Both sides traded tries, but as early in the game, Dupont showed a little magic. As the big man went over, the momentum shifted, and usually it takes a few minutes for it to shift again. Not today. As Ramos went for the conversion, Colby was like a rocket ship, stopping the kick. Needless to say, it did make a difference, with the Box winning the game by a single point in the end.
And Colby.
Colby's speed was plain to see, but in this next match, you'd be lucky to see your own hand in front of your face, let alone the ball. Before any rugby game, there's supposed to be a check. Groundsmen need to make sure the field is playable, and if the conditions are bad, the game is usually delayed. But this is the 2006 Super 14 final, and two of New Zealand's greatest are at it. During this game, the conditions were so bad that the referee couldn't even see the length of the field. Players could see the opposition or their teammates, and it just felt like a horror movie waiting to happen. On the field, it was pure chaos, with the commentators having to guess who has the ball.
With this heavy fog having the blanket of the ground.
In the end, the Sailors walked away with the win, but more impressively, Dan Carter had a flawless kicking performance.
Spot tackle made by Daniel Carter, coming up quickly out of the line.
I guess fans are still wondering what truly happened during the game, and how many errors do you think the ref missed?
No arms and light.
Speaking of Dan Carter, the man is a legend, possibly the greatest number 10 in the game's history. Let's face it, wind is the enemy of any kicker. Unless your name is Daniel Carter and you were born with a GPS implanted in your brain. But in 2007, during a crucial game between the Crusaders and Highlanders, Carter proved himself just a level above everyone else.
Right down the centre.
The wind in Dunedin was blowing at tornado speeds. But just look at the man's genius.
Goodness gracious.
I bet that's the greatest conversion you've ever seen. While most players fought the elements, Carter said, "Hold my beer." Now, speaking of kicks, sometimes the universe just sends you a message. If you haven't heard of Baden-Kerr, I'd forgive you. The man was good, but he was never going to be an All Black. Yet, in a 2011 match between Counties and Northland, the universe sent him a clear message.
Runaways. Baden-Kerr has hit the bar, and
I think they definitely need to give him points for that. The universe was like, close. But not today, mate. It's the definition of bad luck, but at least he got a crazy highlight reel for his efforts. So, if you don't know who Baden-Kerr is, now you know. But I know you want to see a try, so here we go. Something ridiculous. Earlier, I spoke about limbs and how you can use your head or feet to create an assist. But there's another part of the body that people forget about. The torso. It's the 2016 Rugby Championship, and the All Blacks want to end the game with a flurry. When Israel Dag invents a new pass, the ball hits his chest, and on the inside, Luke Romano just snapped it up and walked it in. It's one of those backyard rugby moments that made it to the big stage. You can see the grin on his face immediately. And if that's not crazy enough, the furniture can be of assistance. It's a local schoolboy, and the number 10 lines up the kick for goal. He has one mission: get the 3 points. But life wasn't going to make it easy. First, there was going to be some nerves. The ball hits the crossbar. Not once, not twice, but 4 times, and it still doesn't go over. But as the opposition just stood there wondering what was happening, one attacking player remembered the most important rule in rugby. Always play till you hear the whistle. And as the ball bounced back, he was there. Try! Instead of 3 points, they got 7. But at least it wasn't as embarrassing as this. Now, a rugby kickoff is used to start or restart the game after someone has scored. But when the ball leaves the foot, it usually goes forward. Well, that's the case if nature doesn't hate you. It's the 2013 Meads Cup final. North Otago faces Mid-Canterbury. MC is in the lead, and North Otago kicks off. But the wind said, not today.
Says keep it low. They can't hear him from the commentary box. It went back 30, 40. It could be over the deep ball line.
The ball literally travelled back 50 metres. It's like they tried to go forward but ended back at square one. Now, if wind isn't going to help you, at least speed will. Back in 1999, the 5 nations were yet to feature Italy. The main teams were France, Wales, Scotland, Ireland, and England. As always, Scotland facing Wales is a classic, but on this cold day at Murrayfield, one Scottish winger was perfectly switched on. The referee blew his whistle to start the game, but nothing could prepare the Welsh for what was to come. Leslie just snapped up the ball and almost walked it in for a try. In the end, it took him just 9.56 seconds to score the fastest try in a Tier 1 rugby game. Ever. I wonder if everyone was in their seats yet, and some fans were probably celebrating without a sip of beer as well. Needless to say, the record has stood for almost 3 decades now. In sticking to the Northern Hemisphere, you've probably heard of Elliot Daly. We've seen David Beckham have some fun kicking a ball into a trash can. Some rugby players even do this during training. But what about doing it during a live rugby game? Just listen to the roar of the fans. It's like they were hoping for it. I bet Daly was just looking to clear his lines, but he did that and some. You could give a rugby player 100 balls to kick. I bet maybe one would be able to recreate that. And sticking to the world kicking, modern fans probably don't remember this. If you didn't watch rugby in the 80s and 90s, you might not know who John Eales is. In modern rugby, a backline player has the kicking duties, but the Wallabies trusted a lock. Eales stood over 2 metres tall, 262 pounds. He was even the Wallaby, winning the World Cup in 1999. But what made him special was this.
And it's a successful one. So straight through. It wasn't the most impressive kick you've ever seen.
Yeah, he was actually a kicker, and damn good at it. Eales even scored 173 points for the Wallabies. It is the true definition of a jack of all trades. Speaking of big men doing the unthinkable, everyone loves it when a prop scores a try.
He hands off field. That is sensational.
But seeing a prop run like a winger is rare. Yet, in 2003, Springbok big man Richard Bands did the unthinkable.
Up on the Westhuizen. Here's Bands straight up the middle. Big Richard Bands. He's got to have a go at Spencer. Get out of the road. Bands. Oh, what a great try.
The All Blacks were dominating, and even though they won the game in the end, Bands did the unthinkable.
Gives him a bump. Spencer goes high, which he probably shouldn't have done. Right over backwards, and look at him. And he's taken Aaron Major as well.
Yes, I don't think...
He made Spencer look like a ghost, and that was some real Jonah Lomu energy. But let's face it, would you risk your life trying to stop a 250-pound bulldozer at full speed? I thought that much. Now for another kicker who stunned the world. When you think of drop goals, you think 30, maybe 40 metres at most. Even Dunning did it from about 25 out.
Dunning looking for a three-pointer. It's there.
But Francois Steyn is cut from a different cloth, and he is known for his massive boot.
More on the angle. Away she goes and...
Just under.
No, it's over. Gee.
That was off the tee, and Steyn doesn't really need it.
Lots of young players coming through. Oh, look at that. It's a drop goal attempt. It's absolutely massive. Look.
Almost 60 metres on the angle. But while this is rare for other players, Steyn did it again.
Inside, he's well inside his own half. Whoa, he's given that outside. His death goes out.
And again. The man is an absolute monster with the boot. But in 2015, even he couldn't save the box. Rare moments aren't always fun. Sometimes there is a seismic shift, known as the miracle in Brighton. The Springboks versus Japan was only supposed to go one way. In fact, the Boks have never lost to the Brave Blossoms, but on that day, history was about to change.
Here goes Leach. He's strong. Great tackle by Strauss. Saved the try. Patakawa. Murphy! Here we go! History!
It was magic, like someone was punishing the Springboks in the most embarrassing moment in a nation's history. At least they've rebounded, and now the Springboks are the greatest rugby nation on the planet. But there is one more that involves the Boks. Rugby has a sacred respect for the referee. Usually, but in 2002, in a Tri-Nations match in Durban, that respect vanished in the strangest way possible. A fan, Piet van Zyl, decided he had seen enough of referee Dave McHugh's decisions.
Whoa, what is that? That is atrocious.
Well, we've got a spectator on the field.
He didn't just streak across the pitch, he invaded the pitch specifically to tackle the referee. He ran on and dislocated the ref's shoulder.
Dave McHugh down at the moment, and obviously a little bit ruffled.
It was shocking, confusing and dangerous, but the reaction was pure rugby. It wasn't security who got there first, it was the players. Richie McCaw and AJ Venter immediately descended on the fan, pinning him down. It was a rare, dark moment where the players from both teams united against a common enemy, the idiot in the stands. Some of these moments will rarely, if ever, be repeated. It just proves that rugby is one of the greatest games on the planet, and each time two teams take to the field, you never know what you get. But do you think I missed any? Let me know in the comments if you'd like a part 2, and if you truly want to see an anomaly, check out this kid next.